Welcome back to my channel, my friends. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. It is time to catch up with another Roxy's Weekly Challenge. This is week 14 in the challenge, so I'm still running a little behind. That's all right, we'll get there. So this project number 14 is library pockets and library cards. So it's a little bit different to what I've done before with Rachel. She's done a fun little project. So library pockets, not particularly new there, but our little library cards is definitely something new. So I have prepared 3 library pockets here. Just in case you're not familiar with how to make a library pocket, I thought I would do one on camera, but it's really the decorating and the library cards that I want to focus on. So I like to fold my bottom up here, because this is going to be the top of the pocket where we're putting things in and out. So just to give it a bit more strength, I'm going to fold that up, and we need to fold the sides in a little bit, and these are going to wrap around your pocket. So these bits, it's very hard to see on the book page, but the side bits are going to wrap around onto the back. So you don't need a huge amount, but you know, enough that you can fold over and glue down. And bear in mind how wide you want your pocket. So I already pre-cut these book pages. It's from a encyclopedic dictionary, and that's not straight. I don't know, I find folding a narrow piece of paper quite hard. It tends to warp as you're pressing it down. But anyway, I'm going to go there. So I'm just going to trim out these bottom corners on a little angle. There and there. And I'm going to glue that flap closed now. So just with my tacky glue, you can use glue stick or whatever you like. Just whatever you have at hand to glue that down. Okay, and then we're going to fold this up to create our pocket. And so my sides are going out, and so I'll need to change that. So make it as deep or as shallow as you like. Now it is book page, and this part is upside down. So either you have this side upside down or this part upside down. You choose. I tend to go with this pocket upside down because you can always cover it. It's not the end of the world, and I don't really mind. So I'm going to trim on the inside of my fold line on the top part, and I'm going to come in a little bit more than the fold, just so I can make sure that that side flap is actually going to wrap around, that this part doesn't come out too far, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. I know I'm rushing through this, but I feel most people will know how to make them. They're quite easy to do and quite fun. I'm quite fascinated that they're called library pockets, because they don't actually resemble the library pockets that we have here in New Zealand. So yeah, maybe that you have different styles in different countries. I don't know, but ours are like a little mini paper bag really, and the top is only a little bit above the level of the pocket. That's how our library pockets are. But however, you can make the top bit as big or as little as you like as well. I'm going to just ink this top edge of the pocket before I glue it down. And so that's those sides are gonna wrap around there, and that's gonna close up our pocket. So let's do that. Bit of glue on the flaps. So I hope you're all having a fabulous week, friends. Halfway through Gosh, the weeks are going so quickly. Right, and I find it easier, rather than folding it up this way, I like to just lay the back down on my surface, flat on my surface, and then I can just put those flaps down like so. And I find there's less kind of movement and issue then. Okay, I'm also going to fold down the top. Now I don't always do this. I've done two that I didn't. I gave these ones, I don't know if you can tell, with my fancy edge scissors. I just gave those a little crunchy top on those two. And then this one I folded down. Again, you can't actually tell because it's book page and it just blends together. But this one has got the reinforced top. And this is so that we can use it as a pocket here, of course. But when it's on the page, you can also use it as a pocket there. And this is reinforced. These ones with the crunchy top, not reinforced, are more likely to use as a side pocket or as a tuck. Okay, so already, like, you've got multiple options on which, you know, how you construct your pocket. So I'm just going to snip off these little corners here above the fold line so that they don't stick out when it's glued down. Let's get rid of my shrapnel here. Oh gosh, my mat is very, very crooked. If I straighten it, does that mean the camera's going to be crooked? Possibly, because I tend to line up the camera based on my mat. So if you're suddenly now seeing things crooked, please excuse that. I'm not going to shift the camera because that could possibly make you seasick. So just gluing that top down now. Easy peasy. So the construction is really quite simple. And I'm just going to give it a little snip just because I like that. You don't have to give it a snip. You could also round the corners if you prefer. And then I'm going to ink around it. And I'm taking the time to do this because it helps you see the shape and everything. Oh, I didn't grab out my stamping stuff. We're going to be doing stamping in this project. And literally whatever stamps you like it doesn't have to be realistic. You just make it up as you go along and have some fun with whatever stamps. So we're going to be stamping these, but we're also going to be stamping the library cards, which essentially are journal cards. So Rachel, in her video, that's Roxy Creations, she used printable library cards, printable forms, printable ephemera, that sort of thing to make her library cards. I've always also watched Gail Agostinelli make this project, and she used real library cards that she had in her stash. I'm going to make faux library cards, and I'm using something different. So this is a modern piece of ledger paper out of a book. You know, like you would go to the stationery store, you'd buy an accounting type book. Just that. And it's quite good quality paper. It's not super thin. And I have tea dyed it. And so I tea dyed it when it was still joined. So that was like, this is double the length. And that's just a full spread. This is where the staples were. And then I've glued it in half. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this one as well, because we've got 4 pockets, so we need 4 journal cards. So I need to fold this in half first before I put glue on. Yep. I just coffee dyed this over the weekend, so it's not coffee dyed, tea dyed. So it's quite fresh and crunchy, and unfortunately it doesn't have the yummy coffee smell because I run out of my dyeing coffee, so I used tea instead. I much prefer the smell of coffee, but it's beautiful, beautiful dyeing no matter what you use. So I'm going to smear glue stick all around inside, but leaving the edges This is just my method. Feel free to go right up to the edges with your glue stick. I just prefer the 2 glue method, and it saves me from going through more glue pages and getting glue on the outside of my paper, because I don't want sticky or dirty marks from glue. So there we go. So I'm just going to fold that back up, and working from the center, just give it a press, make sure it's all nice and stuck down. It's a little crooked, that's fine. And then I come in with my tacky glue. Those who are regulars will have seen me do this a zillion times. So thanks for bearing with me as I show anyone who might not be familiar with this method. And I'm just catching those edges with the tacky glue. And it's just, I find, the easiest, less messy way of gluing large pieces in particular. You know, because if I put this on a glue page to glue, then I'd have to keep shifting it, which means I'm putting it in glue that's already on the glue page, and you end up with transfer, and I just don't like it. I'd prefer to avoid that. And Rachel herself will often use the 2 glue method as well, for pretty much the same reason, that, you know, just you get sick of creating gluey pages, and if you don't have to, if you can avoid it, it's just quite nice. Right, here we go. So I'm not going to get all 4 done, so I'm going to put this one aside to dry, and I will trim up where it's not lined up straight and tidy it up once it's dry. So let's go to this one, which I prepared ahead. I've already trimmed it straight, it's all good to go. Now I've got one very wide library pocket, which to me looks off, like it does not look like a typical library pocket. But I wanted to go with it just to show you, you can customize it. You make them any size you like, any dimensions you like. It doesn't matter. It's your pocket, your journal, you do what you like. So this is a pretty good width for this pocket. So I'm going to work out how tall I want. I think I want it below the top of the pocket. So I'm just going to trim it there. And then I'm going to mark which is the widest out of these. That one. So now I'm going to go from the mark I made there, and I'm going to measure the height of this one. So cut it about there. So I'll cut those, and I'll just put these pockets aside so I don't mix them up. I'm just going to chop this. So I'm going to have a section down here that's spare. So that's a scrap. Might fit one of the other pockets, although the lines will be sideways, but that's not a deal breaker. Can be done. Right. So we have 2 faux library card, I apologise, library card bases with some really cool lines on, like library cards have lines on. This one's got numbers, this one doesn't because it's further down the page, but it's still got the cool columns. So it's got a couple of small columns here and then a wide space here, and then on the back it's got more columns. So what I envisage, that this is the front of the library card where you find the title, the name, the catalogue number, and then the back, of course it carries on the front as well, but the back where it's date stamped, and you know, this is the date it's due back. So also I need to, I think I'll do this one for the larger one. This one needs to be trimmed down widthways. So where do I want to trim it? I think if I trim it along that line, we should be about right. Might hold on to that for now. Right, just check, and yes, it fits in nicely. Okay, so here comes the fun bit, guys. The fun bit of decorating, and first come the stamps. So I neglected to grab out my supplies before I turned on the camera, so let's just grab those. I'm going with black ink and of course an acrylic block, and just whatever stamps you have in your stash, and just go fun. It doesn't need to really mean anything. I'm going to start with this number over here. It's like a catalogue number, must be non-fiction. Looks like a non-fiction number to me. And I'm going to turn these onto the front, and it doesn't matter if you use the same stamps across them all, because that's not likely that you're going to use them in the same journal. Let's go over this side. Oops, I don't want to stamp on my journal page there. Right, just stamping off. Go crazy with numbers, words, symbols, or whatever you like. Here is a wee filed. Let's go with the word filed. Oops, I'm getting black ink all over my block as well. So that's fun. Just varying the position, just playing. And don't forget your pockets, because we're also going to be stamping our pockets. And they don't have to match, like you don't have to use the same stamps. Like if you use this number here, it doesn't mean you can't use another number, because it doesn't matter. It's just all in good fun. And if you don't have these pre-made up number stamps, then have you got individual numbers that you can create your own numbers? I love making my own numbers with my number stamps, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to use these ones that are already made up, and it's going to be quicker. Right, I'm not even putting the stamps away properly. Let's go. Oh, book number. Shall we put a book number on? Let's put a book number on this one, because that's quite fun. I just really want to see what I can make of these. What about orders attended to day or night? It's a 24-hour library. Is there such a thing as a 24-hour library? Oh, I just stuck my hand in the ink pad. That was not very clever, was it? Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's better. Clean off. So perhaps having my ink pad right in front of my stamps is not a clever idea. Let's move it to the side. So, yeah. Is there such a thing as a real 24-hour library? No, not an online one, but an actual physical library? I've never heard of one. I think poor people who'd have to staff it. So I'm just going to stamp straight on to the book page, because I'm not going to cover the book page. It's going to be celebrated in all its upside down glory. But if upside down bothers you, you can cover it, add music paper, collage it, whatever. What about this collect stamp with writing in it? If I can grab it. So I'm kind of working backwards and forwards between the cards and the pockets. So let's put that one up there, and right in the middle down there. And what else do we want? We want some sort of title. So I grabbed out a few word options or phrase options. So you can make up titles of the book or just hint at. And this says, celebrate like you're the queen. It's like, let's put that on one of our cards, maybe on this one, because there's room over here for it. So that's the pretend title of our book. Celebrate like you're the queen. That sounds like a fun book, doesn't it? And is there anything else? No, nothing else I want on that one. Here's some more words. This one, beauty is everywhere. I think that's a really nice sentiment that could go with any journal. Let's give it a title over here. Fun. It's a good excuse to grab out all your stamps, isn't it? Okay, so this is all I'm going to use out of that one, so I'm going to put that one away. Okay, what else do we want to add? Let's go with we're going to put some sort of a tickety thing on. Why not? Oops, it helps if you open the openable end of the packet. A lot of these don't actually stamp very well, so it's not going to turn out great, but that's okay. And I don't know which ones are the worst, so I'm just gonna, that you can actually see on the surface of the stamp that there's actually hollows, and where there's a hollow, obviously it doesn't actually show up. Very poorly made stamps, but if you just want a hint of something, then that's about all they're good for, is just a hint of something. That's what you get from cheap stamps. It's just a bit of something. Oops, don't know why I'm putting it off to the side. Let's put a bit here as well, just adding a little bit at the top there. I just don't want ink everywhere, so I am cleaning them off a little bit as I go. Okay, I think I've finished with that one. I would like some big numbers for these ones, so I think I'm going to grab out my individual numbers here. And maybe this biggest size. I do have bigger ones in a different set, but I think these should be fine. And let's just make up, for simplicity, I'm just going to use the same numbers on each pocket. I just might do them a slightly different order maybe. So we're going to go 7, maybe 700, maybe 7,000. I don't know yet. I'm just having a play. I may not get them straight on, on here. That's all right. And just pretend that the person was in a hurry who originally stamped them and didn't do a good job. It's all about how you spin it, my friends. You spin it into a story and it's all good. Right, so let's have a 731. And let's do a different number on the other one. 735. Or maybe we'll do 7,350 something. Oops. Make sure I've got the ink on the whole stamp would be good. Because, books have lots and lots. Libraries have lots and lots and lots of books, so they number in the thousands, and depending on the library it could even be like millions. So we're going to have 7,358. What it means, no idea. It's just fun. Do love playing with my stamps. Right. And I think to finish those off, not that one, I'm going to do some coffee staining. So let's put the lid on my black ink for now. I've not long lit the fire, so it's nice and warm in here, and I don't want my ink pad to dry out. Right, do we want to put anything more on the cards apart from coffee marks? If I had a signature or something, like a name, I might use that, but other than that, sorry for reaching under the camera yet again. I might put this on. Yep, it's up the right way. I was like, that's upside down. It's like, no, it's not. Just a round stamp. It says number 7859, been dispatched. And it's got a name. Doesn't matter. It's just, I think, an interesting little detail. Just put a little bit on the side there. And maybe overlap, so it's some on the pocket and some on the back. That's quite fun. I like that. Wish I'd done that on the other one. And let's put a little bit on these as well. Maybe we'll put some on the back. Crew dispatched, it says, actually. Crew, whatever that means. Let's do this one on the back as well. So there's just a little something. Little something. Something. So good writing space, just with a little bit of stamping here and there to make it fun. Okay, put the lid back on there. Okay, I need brown ink. So I'm going to go sepia because it's the one my hand went to. Normally I'd use coffee for doing the coffee rings, but not today. Today we're going sepia. Right, so let's add some coffee rings here and there. Love it. Love it. So much fun. Very careless people who've either worked in the library or taken this book out. And then let's put one on the back there as well. And let's put some on the pockets. I'm getting some interesting stamping on this page, aren't I? Maybe right in the middle there. I might use a different one as well. Clean that off, and let's grab a slightly different coffee ring, and just to vary it, give it some more interest, maybe one with a splatter on it. Because why not? It's just extra fun, isn't it? And because this isn't writing space, we can, you know, cover up a bit more. Love that. And let's do a little bit at the top there as well. Awesome. Yay, 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 yay. Fun. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. Are you crafting with me or are you watching? Either way, I hope you're enjoying it because I'm having fun. This is actually just the project I needed to do. Just for a bit of crazy fun. Crazy. Right. How are we looking? So this one goes in here. And this one goes in there. Oh, I think they look so cool. So we can also decorate them. Depends how much of the writing space you want to take up. I don't even know if this is going to be... Oh, yeah, no, it does fit. It's too tall for the pocket itself, but it would fit here. It's a camellia image out of a gardening book. Do I want to decorate? I feel like it's a little bit big. Somewhere around here, it's buried under my stamps, is my packet of Ephemera from All Things Roses by the Junk Journal Studio. So let's see what we might want. Oh, that's getting a little bit bent. That's rather pretty, isn't it? I like that. We could also put something, bring in a little bit of colour down here if we wanted. That's quite pretty. I'm not sure if I want to pair the yellow rose with the pink rose though. Does it matter? No, not really. But that's pretty too, isn't it? No, I'm just looking for small things. Something like that, or we could use a ticket. Need something else for that one, don't we? Maybe not the ticket. Right, having a good old fussy here. So many pretty pieces. There's one with a bird on. That's quite lovely, and then you've still got quite a bit of writing space there. Okay, haven't got anything for the pocket on this one. Do we want to go something like that, or do we want to go something, maybe a label? So we rose label here. I think it's actually a vertical one. Like something maybe a little more colour. No, that's too small. How about that? I like that. Okay. So, sorry Camellia, you'll find a home somewhere else. I don't think I want to ink around this one, so I'm just going to pop it on. Some glue stick. Oops, gouging out my glue. It's very hard when you're gluing something small to avoid it, even though you go from the outside, because it's, you know, it's about the same size as the top of my glue stick. So that's pretty, I like that. Now, do I want to ink around this? I also need to ink around the cards themselves. Do I want to round the corners? No, library cards, well, at least the ones we have here in New Zealand, are all just square, so I think I'll leave it square. I think I do want to ink around this rose. It won't take long. So hopefully I'll get week 15 of Roxy's weekly challenge done this week as well, and that'll bring us up to date until Friday when she brings out her new one, which doesn't go up for us here in New Zealand until Saturday, so but will basically be up with the play. So that's my game plan. Whether I achieve that or not, well, your guess is as good as mine. We shall see. Doesn't really matter if I don't, like it's no biggie. I'll get caught up at some stage, but I would like to get caught up this week if possible, and I think I should be able to do that. So still got a bit of writing space on the front of that one. Need to ink around it just because I want you to see it finished. I'm filming this quite late in the day. It's 20 to 5 and hubby will be home at 5:30 and I've got to get dinner on the go, so I am rushing a little bit, I feel, but not too bad. I think it's more noticeable within myself, but I'm having fun. I'm still relaxed. I'm not rushing and frantic or anything. I'm being quick but also having fun, so I'm happy with that. Just a couple of little bits on the back. That is so cute. I love these. Absolutely love these. Okay, I'm going to ink around these two fussy cuts as well. These have got a border around them. This other rose didn't. I cut the border off. So I just want to give these a little distress in the nicest possible way. Not cause them distress, but just give them a little distress. It's funny, the English language, isn't it? Phrases can be taken more than one way, or words can. I can't remember what it was. My husband and I were talking last night, and I said something and he said something else that was a play on what I said, and then I came back with playing on that as well, and we just looked at each other and it's like, it's crazy how well we know each other because we were on the same wavelength and we were understood the language play that we were doing and bouncing off each other, and it was cool. We do that quite regularly. We both like a bit of wordplay. It's fun. Especially when it's like just happens out of the blue. It's like, yeah, that was cool. It's fun. So that's not visible in the pocket, but it's going to be the nice little surprise when you pull it out. And some good writing space front and back. And now our little hand holding the rose. Just being a little bit more careful on how I glue here, to avoid getting clumps on the front of my, whoops, don't put it upside down. There is writing under her fingers, so I don't want to get the writing upside down. Says a tribute of love, and a little note under her hand. So there we go. There is my take on Roxy's weekly challenge, week 14. Did I say week 14? I think it's week 14. Library pockets, book page library pockets with faux library cards, and I'm going to be making more of these because I just adore them. I love the look. So usable, and I've still got these two to make up as well, and these are both a little smaller, a little narrower, and these are both the ones where I've reinforced the top, but they'll get the similar treatment. Use different words, different stamps, just have fun, have a blast. I really encourage you to give this a go if you haven't already. It is so much fun. If you don't have many stamps, don't worry. You don't need numbers and words if you don't want. You could do foliage or flowers or butterflies. Just grab your stamps and go and have fun, because it is such fun, and I really love how these little faux library cards turned out. If you have a date stamp, you could even like fill in some of the dates, pretend dates or things. I don't have a date stamp, but that would be super fun as well, depending on how much writing space you want to use up. But there's still a good amount of writing space. So thanks for joining me, friends. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, and I'll be back again tomorrow. See you then.